Awesome. Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining, you get started in just a few minutes. It's nice to see so many lovely faces. And this is a very common and very important topic, which is launching your book. Today's topic for this Marketing Monday session is launch your children's books to a bestseller, proven strategies and actionable steps for success. My name is April Cox. I will be your guide through this bestseller journey. We're going to talk a little bit about a little introduction. What does it mean to be a bestseller? Talk about building a strong foundation in order to be able to get that bestseller launch. But I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that. I feel like most people that talk about best-selling book launches talk about all the things you need to do before you launch your book and spend so much time on that and so little on the actual launch process. I'm going to do a little bit of the opposite with my presentation today because I really want you to have all the steps. Prep for a book launch, so the preparations that are required, and then launch to a bestseller, and then I'll open up for Q&A. And I'm actually going to share my screen and show you the settings that I'm using for launching my upcoming children's book, my ebook. I'll show you how I was able to get it down to 99 cents for book launch, and I'll show you some of the settings you need to make sure that you check in order to get this, to use the approach that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So we'll do a little bit of show and tell. All right, and I will save time for Q&A at the end. So I'm asking if you want to go ahead and post questions as you think of them into the chat. I'm going to go through and I'll try to stop various points within the presentation, answer some questions, and then at the end give you some time to do open Q&A as well. All right. So what is a bestseller? There's a number of bestsellers out there. New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, I think, is no longer doing it. And then, of course, Amazon bestseller. And depending on each one of these companies has their own criteria. Some of them publish information about it. Some of them do not. There is some proprietary algorithms that they use to determine what bestsellers are. Some of them are subjective. At the minimum, if you're outside of Amazon, you need to be able to sell at least 5,000 books in a week. Most of them are even more than that. However, with Amazon, when it comes to being a bestseller, you just need to be #1 in your category on Amazon. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, understanding what that means, and how to become #1 on Amazon in your particular category. And that's really what we're going to focus on today, is becoming a #1 bestseller on Amazon. Okay. All right, so what defines a bestseller? Sales in a given period, and on Amazon, it is really focused around a 24-hour period. Some of the others look at sales velocity, how many sales are coming in over a period of time, and that matters to some of the others. Distribution channels outside of Amazon matter when it comes to others like the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, USA Today. Other distribution channels outside of Amazon don't really count when it comes to Amazon bestseller status. Category performance is what we're going to be talking about in order to be able to make that #1 bestseller on Amazon. Okay. My name is April Cox. This is my story. My whole story got started as a way of sharing and bonding with my grandkids. The stories that I've created are part of my Little Labradoodle series. I'm launching book #4 in that Labradoodle series that is going on. It's called A Little Labradoodle Christmas. And so I'll talk to you a little bit about that and hope that you guys will support my launch of that book as well. I also have been an author coach and have created a program called Self-Publishing Made Simple. Many of you have participated in a number of meetings and my courses and things like that, helping authors, and especially helping authors who are struggling and unsure where to move forward, and creating that framework of step-by-step things that are repeatable is really where my passion is, and sharing that information and knowledge with others. So that's what we're going to do here today. And welcome and thanks for joining me. Let me see. I have the things that I'm going to share with you today. The process that I'm going to share with you has been tried and true, probably going on over 40 books since I started going through and launching ebooks in this way. Some of these are here just to show you the variety of recent book launches that have all hit bestseller status, but there's a lot more than I could put on this one slide. But I did want to say that what I'm sharing with you is repeatable, and it is something that you can accomplish yourself as well. Okay. All right. So what are benefits of reaching bestseller status? Obviously, enhancing a book's visibility, because you can also utilize that and spread the word about your book reaching bestseller status. It also, as people are scrolling through Amazon looking for books, if they see one, I know I do this all the time, if I see a bestseller badge, I'm probably going to stop and linger more to take a look at that, or I may click into it because something's going on with that book. So I want to drill in and see whether or not it's something that my kids or grandkids would like. It also improves credibility for you as an author. Once you hit bestseller status, you are able to call yourself forevermore a best-selling author. Your book is a best-selling book. If you happen to hit bestseller in a category that's outside of the US, then you are, as well as the US, now you're an international best-selling author. So these are important factors as you're sharing your own author journey with others. You're able to put that in your email signature, on your website, in your social media. So these things will also help elevate you as an author and your credibility as well. From a marketing perspective, it will also give you additional opportunities to market yourself. For example, when you hit bestseller, you can do a PR push to the local news and newspapers and radio shows to let them know that a local author in the area has hit bestseller status. You can publicize it in other ways on social media. #1 new release. I see your question there. If you're a #1 new release, I think that's wonderful. It's not quite bestseller. I would say it comes before the bestseller status. So we want to continue to keep the sales going. It's basically showing that you're a rising star for one of the new releases categories. So you'll want to keep that up. Okay, come on now. Can lead to more sales. Yes, if people start, if your book starts becoming more visible, if you're able to share about and get the message out and share about the bestseller status, you can also end up having people go, oh, I want to check this out too, right? It's another form of word of mouth as well as additional marketing efforts. So it can lead to more sales. So let's talk about what you need to do to build that strong foundation for a bestseller status. Now, this is where most of the people that are presenting about bestsellers usually focus. I'm going to go through this, and I can always come back for additional Q&A, but these, to me, I'm going to just assume that everybody who's here has gone through and does have a high quality product, high quality listing on Amazon, and I'll talk a little bit more about what that means. You have done your market research, so you understand your target audience. You have an author platform, at least a basic live presence on the internet so that people can find you and you can post information and get communications out the door. So these are some of, especially #1, a high quality product, and that is marketable. These couple of things are really important for anything to happen with your book. But I'm going to assume that you have these things as we go through and I walk through the next steps for what you do once this stuff is established. Okay, so the market research, just to touch on this a little bit, know your audience. You really do need to know who your target audience is, because as you're setting up your Amazon listing, you're going to want to have keyword phrases, things that a description that appeals to your target audience. So if you don't know who it is that you're writing for, or you don't really understand the market, it's going to make it much harder for you to get the attention that you need and to get your target audience to move forward and purchase your book. Your idea needs to have potential. There are you can have a beautiful book, but if it's not anything people are looking for and nobody's really interested in the topic, it's going to be very hard to sell. An idea with potential is really important. A popular niche or sub-niche is also important. And some of these things can come and go. Unicorns and monster trucks and different things happen to come and go. So another important thing to do is try to create something that is going to be more of a classic that will be able to be around and won't be coming and going as far as fading in and out with popularity. Really doing your research and understanding what your age group is reading, visiting libraries, bookstores, really talking to people, asking them, what is it that you're having trouble keeping on the shelves? I'm writing about this topic, or I have an idea about this topic. Can I see the bestsellers, those books that are really popular on this topic? And be able to do that kind of research is going to go a long way in helping you with that market research and creating a book that is more likely to be a bestseller. And then, of course, just copying what's working well for other people isn't necessarily going to do well for you. You have to have a unique selling proposition. What is it about your book that's special? Mine is a Christmas book. What is it about my Christmas book that's different than others, or what makes it special? Why should people buy mine and versus other competitors? So you need to be able to know how to position your book, or think through how best to position your book, and know how to reach your target audience as well. So these are important foundational things that you will be needing to do as well. Okay. Your author platform is another foundational element. Some people will ask me, do I really need a website? Do I really need social media? I hate social media. You need some sort of an online presence and a way for people to find you and to support you, and a way for you to promote the book that you are releasing. So even if your website is just a one-pager, it's better than nothing. And a one-page website can be very nicely designed. It doesn't need a whole lot of bells and whistles, and a social media presence on at least one platform that you really want to focus on. You don't have to have social media, all of the different types of social media everywhere, but one or two platforms will be really helpful for you to help get the word out about your book. Okay. One of the best and most important things that you as an author need is an email list. Because regardless of how many followers you have on Facebook or Instagram or visitors on your website, if you have no way of knowing who they are by collecting their emails, then you have no way of being able to reach out to them. Our Amazon accounts and Facebook accounts, Instagram, Twitter, all of those could be closed at any time. So we could lose access to all of those people. So becoming or having a strategy around building an email list is really important. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward, and I'm happy to answer more questions about it. But again, these are foundational things that are really helpful as you build that best-selling book catalog of yours. Obviously, engaging with your audience, sharing information, connecting. Perhaps you've got email groups, I should say Facebook groups, or other communities that you're engaging with, or on social media, or some people just love TikTok. Whatever it is, you need to try to find a way to move forward with your audience and to engage with them so that they can find you and so that you can continue to grow your influence as well. Okay, building your influence. Mary Jo says, what's the best way to increase an email list? The best way that I have seen to do that is by when you are releasing your book. One of the things I always do is in the back of my email of my book, I have a code for them, some sort of free thing that I'm giving away. And when they click on it, it goes to my website. So usually it's a video book or it's a coloring and activity book that I'm giving away as a downloadable digital content. I have teachers' guides and things like that. So at the end of my book, I give them a QR code where they can scan. When they go there, they're going to my email list. You can also use that same kind of code to post on your social media or on your email list to say, hey, here's a freebie for those of you who joined my mailing list. An incentive is really helpful, and just asking people and providing something of value. So at the beginning of my last book, when you go to page 1, it says, here's a QR code, download the digital video book and read along with me. They can do that, and when they go there, they're giving me their email, and it defaults to them being subscribed to my mailing list. They could uncheck it if they want to, but most of the time people just leave it as is. Okay. And another great way of creating an email list is having a survey. If you are a part of a number of Facebook communities and you're just looking to survey your target audience, if you put together a handful of questions and it's a community that you're active on, then typically when you say, hey, I have a survey, I'd love to get parents of kids ages 4 to 8. I just have a few questions in preparation for my building my next children's book. Then as people go through and answer survey questions, one of the last questions I always put is, are you okay with me? Can I keep you on my mailing list? And then it just tells them I won't spam you and you can be removed at any time. So that's another great way to get a lot of people quickly on it. I think the last person that I worked with to do something like that, they ended up adding like 1,200 people to their mailing list, doing something like that. Other ways are giveaways. You can create a giveaway. There's tools. The one I like is called King Sumo. So sometimes I'll put together like a Christmas package of my books, my plush, and I'll add a bunch of other popular books and have one nice big package. And in order to be entered to win, they just need to enter their email address. So I'll use that platform as a way of getting people involved and applying. And it's always going to be people that are interested or that have kids in that age group. So those are a few ways. I'm sure there's a number of others that you can share and that you probably have used yourself. Your Amazon listing, this is an important part of becoming a bestseller, because anything that you do to drive somebody to your book, when they get there, if it doesn't have a good hook and description that's of interest to them, if it doesn't have a great cover, hold on, let me make sure. So we've got your author profile should be connected. Your A+ content should be there. Your formats should all be linked together. Your ebook, your paperback, your hardcover. Those are important things. And obviously having a great cover, maybe some interior photos, which we can use A+ content to add. And of course, having the right keywords and categories are really important too, because how are people going to find you? It's going to be based on those keywords, and whether or not you become a #1 bestseller is going to be dependent on what categories you have selected and how you rank within those categories. So these are all really important things you need to get right in order to become a bestseller. Okay. So before you launch, know your goals, have a launch plan, and we'll talk about some of that as well. Focus on your platform so that you've got everything ready, you're communicating, you're building anticipation. Build your launch team, and I will share some tips and techniques that I use here to do that. You're also going to want to create your content. There's a number of different pieces of content that you're going to want to create, and I'll go through that in a slide that's coming up here. And know how many sales that you need to make to get to that #1 bestseller. And I'll show you how to do that. The tool that I use is called Publisher Rocket. I do my category analysis through there, and I can show you how many that I'm going to need to reach #1 bestseller for my new children's book. When we do the demo part, I'll go and check that. So just make sure I don't forget. Just remind me when I get there to go and show you Publisher Rocket stuff. So all of these things are the before you launch. And now we're going to say, what do you do to build your launch team? So my preference and what I target is 100 plus people. Right now, I think I'm at about 55, something like that. So I'm running short and I'm behind, like I said, because of things that have come with my mom. So I'm working hard to get that moving forward. You can start with your own network of people. I'm also a member of a number of different Facebook groups. Some of them are Labradoodle lover Facebook groups. I'm going to be reaching out to them. I've got author groups, and author communities are also another great place to do it. And if you are conducting interviews, or you're being part of, say you've got a podcast interview, or a blogger is interviewing you or writing a story about you, if you're doing live sessions, things like that, then you're going to be able to use those opportunities to ask people to support your book launch. Again, you want to try to target 100 plus people. The reason I say that is even if only half of them follow through and become part of your, or say 100 of them sign up to be part of your launch team, and only half of them follow through and actually post a review for you at the end, you still end up with 50 reviews during your launch week. That is amazing. Now, some people will say, April, I only have 20 people on my launch team. I don't have a big following right now. Is that enough? It is if all 20 of them are really engaged and are going to be there and they're going to follow up and do what you're asking of them. So build as you can, as you grow your platform and you grow your influence, you will also be able to target bigger and bigger launch teams as you move through and launch your next books. Okay. All right. So what kind of content do you need? You're going to need to have content on your website saying that you're launching your new book soon. Social media, this is just a little like coming soon that I put on Instagram for my book, just to build some anticipation for what's coming. So on your social media accounts, you're going to want to get those social posts. You're going to want to make sure your social media accounts that you're going to focus on are all set up. On emails, because email is an important part of my communication plan, and as you build emails, you're going to want to have those to send out to people, emails to build anticipation, emails to your launch team. So I always say draft all of those things prior to your launch, because you don't want to have to be doing it and creating the content at that point. I usually have all my social media done and out of the way ahead of time. Thank goodness that I've got a great social media manager, so she'll create all of that for me and schedule all the posts that I'll have going through launch week. Same thing with the emails. I'll create those and schedule them so that they will go when they're supposed to. So these are things that I'm doing in preparation for book launch. The types of communications that I use with my launch team, I'll have invites to join my launch team. Yes, MailChimp is perfect. You can use MailChimp. I use Wix, and because I use Wix website, there's a plugin called Send that allows me to send emails and collect emails and all of that right through Wix. So that's what I use, but there's lots of other things like that. So I do a join my launch team invite. I always have an email that will go out. Thank you for joining the launch team. And then I have an email to let them know when it's time to buy the ebook. And they're going to be buying my ebook for 99 cents. And then I'll send a reminder. So I'll have my initial email and then a reminder email. And then once the ebook is live, I'll let them know that it's launched and it's time to review. And I'll have a separate email for review reminder and a thank you email. We did it. And then usually there's a special offer, things that I give to my launch team, and a celebration thing where I get together with them. So these are the types of emails that I put together as part of just for my launch team communications. And so I do have some templates that I've created. And for those of you who will take the step today to be part of my launch team, I'll be sharing all of my email templates and all of the things that I've put together to launch my own book. I'll be sharing that with you guys. The timing of each communication, I've got that coming. So you'll see the schedule will be coming soon, Jenabeth. Hold on. Okay. So my Amazon setup, let me just go here. So when you're in Amazon and setting up your ebook for launch, you're going to set it to pre-order. You're going to upload the front cover. You're going to not upload the interior. And I'm going to, by the way, I'm going to demo this so that I'll pull up my KDP and I'll show that to you. And if you do not upload your interior and you select a 35% royalty on the pricing side, that will allow you to price the ebook at 99 cents. So this is my kind of secret weapon. Some people will say, but April, can't I just do, like, for my launch team, can't I just do a free ebook? Go grab a free ebook and then give me a review. Sure, that's fine. I have seen people do that. However, if you are looking to get a bestseller status, if you are not selling and you're just giving away your ebook, it does not ever count as a sale and you do not ever hit bestseller. This approach, even prior to your ebook ever launching, you can hit bestseller status. I've seen it. I've monitored multiple ebooks, and they will start as like a #1 new release, and then it'll hit bestseller status and then it'll hold a #1 bestseller banner or bestseller banner, and the book has never launched. It doesn't even have the interior loaded yet. So this is a way of hitting bestseller. And of course, I'm telling you the secrets to getting there. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make sure that you have lots of other things supporting this, right? You don't want to just hit bestseller and then just stop and not have a plan to continue sales, to use Amazon ads, to drive additional visibility to your book. But this is a way to get that initial bestseller ranking. If Karen says, if your ebook's under 3 megabytes, can you upload the interior? I would initially say, send it out without that, and then go in and upload your ebook and see whether or not it still allows you to keep it at 99 cents. So it's because of the size of the file, it can be tricky and you can end up not being able to get to 99 cents. I don't know if 3 megabytes is the magic number or not. I always just leave it empty. Okay, what if, Jenabeth says, what if the interior has already been uploaded? So I'll show you what I'm going to do here and what you can click on. And if you try those things and because you've already uploaded your interior, it doesn't allow you to do those things, I would say start a new ebook, a new listing, and then cancel the old one if you really want to do this 99-cent book launch. Because you can't just remove the interior once you've loaded it. So I'm going to go stop this and go into KDP for a moment. By the way, this is my launch form. I have put it in here just while I'm bringing up my KDP. If you are not part of my launch team and you would like to be part of my launch team, I would love it if you were. I'm just going to put a link. This is my sign up form for people if you are interested. And if you are already on my launch team, thank you. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to a great launch coming up soon. All right, so I'm going into my KDP. Here is the new book. I've got a Kindle. Let me just see if I zoom in a little bit more. That might be easier for you to see, okay? So I've got my front cover loaded, or it's a draft version of it anyway. And you can see right now it's showing that I've got a pre-order draft for 99 cents. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to show you. Whoops, it's going to make me log in again and probably ask for another code. Bear with me for one moment. Yep, that's true. All right. OTP code is 530563. 530563. Okay. So let me show you some. I'm going to just go through my listing here and highlight some things that I want you to realize, okay? So the book title and the subtitle, I'm trying to put things in here that are important keywords that I think would be helpful. So for my Labradoodle people, the word Labradoodle and A Little Labradoodle is my picture book series. Christmas, the word Christmas, a rhyming picture book, right? Rhyming is another important keyword for me. Picture book, family, love, kindness. So I could have created something a little bit different that had holiday or heartwarming or other things, but this is what I settled on. And this keyword phrase is high potential, has a lot of searches, and it also doesn't have too much competition. So by itself, it is a great keyword phrase that I did a lot of research and analysis to come up with. Okay, I'm adding it to my series. Some people don't realize that the series title is another really great place to use to incorporate keywords. The Little Labradoodle, I started this series before I really knew the benefit of having a series title. I probably would have named it differently had I really known back then. That's one thing I probably would go back and change, and I would use the word dog or puppy dog or something like that so that I would also incorporate some additional things there. I've got my co-author is my granddaughter, Kyrie. So I always smile whenever I scroll past and her name appears with mine. All right, so the description I like to use AI to help create a really good description and to play around with that. A good hook at the beginning. So I have here, looking for a holiday tale that'll smiles and inspire your child to spread kindness. A Little Labradoodle Christmas is the perfect addition for your holiday reading tradition. And then I talk a little bit about the title, what's important about it, why people need it. I would say in your description, don't tell the story as much as tell what's special about your book. Make sure that you get that. And then I try to have a call to action at the end. Order your copy and share the magic of Christmas with your little ones. So this is a great opportunity, and I'm going to give you a trick. I'm going to put in the chat. I have authorpreneur.ai. It is my version of ChatGPT loaded up with a ton of my knowledge and information. So if you were to go to authorpreneur.ai, that is me and my knowledge building and training of ChatGPT to help for children's book authors and launching a children's book. So you're welcome to be a part, and you don't have to pay anything extra to get into authorpreneur.ai. You just need to have an account with ChatGPT. Even if it's a free account, it'll work fine. Okay, so take advantage of that. It's a great resource. Okay, so now we're going to go to categories. Now, remember I said that a best-selling book launch, part of it is you need to be #1 in a category that is at least one category that you are going to be really focused on. Now, the other important thing is make sure that these categories tell Amazon what your book is all about. For example, this book is about a grumpy cat who hates Christmas, and these little Labradoodles and my granddaughter Kyrie, she's the star of the book, actually are trying to help that cat learn to love Christmas, or give him the Christmas spirit, show him what it's all about. So the cat category is one that I chose. I also wanted it to be under Christmas. Now, I know these two are both very competitive categories, so I also wanted to find one that is not as competitive, but I also really needed to make sure that I'm not picking something that doesn't apply. So this book also talks about family traditions. And so when I went in, I'm going to show you Publisher Rocket here. This is the tool that I use when I'm doing my analysis for which categories that I should be using. So if I go here into category search, now Publisher Rocket is a tool that you invest in once, and every time they come up with new features, they just keep giving them to you for free. It'll tell you, woohoo, something has changed and there's a version available. And when I bought it, it was, I think, $99. Now I think it's up to almost $200. If you don't already own Publisher Rocket, you should get Publisher Rocket, as if this is something that you want to do for a living, is to continue to write. I'm just going to put a link here for you if you are interested in Publisher Rocket and you want to, actually, that might not work. aprilcox.com Rocket. Okay, that one. Okay, so what this tool, the category search feature of this tool does is it gives you a list of every single category that's on Amazon. So I'm doing things, you can search for something. I'll search for the word holiday. Let me get rid of this down here. So if I search for the word holiday, now I see everything that has the word holiday. And here's where the magic comes in. Sales to #1, 16 sales. My children's ebook, Holidays and Celebrations, Christmas. I need to get to 16 sales in a 24-hour period to be #1. Now, if I have 100 people on my launch team, I think I could probably get 16 sales in a 24-hour period, 16 people to buy it at 99 cents, right? If I guide my launch team, and then how many, this second column here is how many in order to be #10. Here, if the holiday was an Easter holiday, it's only 7 sales to #1. So you see exactly what. Now the cat category, when I was looking at cats, so I need 105. I probably won't rank for this cat category. 105 sales in 24 hours. So that is probably not likely to get a #1 for me, but that's okay. I understand that. And it's just that it is an important category for Amazon to know that does apply to my books. Now, when I did tradition, I found this one, which is Customs, Traditions, and Anthropology. This, since I'm focused on Christmas traditions and things like that, this was one I knew, wow, I found 6 sales to #1. I am positive that I will hit bestseller status with that one. A lot of times we start by searching up here. Now, if I get rid of everything altogether, sometimes if I have trouble figuring out what are the categories that I want to focus on, or which ones maybe would be a good opportunity for me to hit number one, I'll sometimes just leave it empty over here and go click on sales to number one, and then you can sort it by least to greatest by clicking the little icon here. So I might just search through and browse through these things. I'll filter it by only selectable ones. There we go. Only selectable. So now we see all of the different categories that are number one sale to number one. And then I scroll down. So I might just scroll and take a look at what are all of these different things. And as I go, ooh, this might be good for me, I'll look at the number of sales to number one and I'll put it aside as a maybe. And then I'll find the 3 categories that work best, or that I eventually decide are the ones that I'm going to focus on. Chris says, is the goal to hit bestseller in one category or multiple? I like the idea of hitting it in multiple categories. If I can find multiple categories that are, I think I will hit it in holiday, Christmas category, and I will probably definitely hit it in the traditions. Probably not on cat. So yeah, I think it's good to hit it in multiple categories. And that's what will give you that bestseller badge. And even in the cat category, I'll probably get like a number one new release because it's selling a lot or it's going up fast. Because it's a newly released book, it gets that number one new release status. Kathleen asks, do free days on KDP Unlimited, Kindle Unlimited, count on sales? Yes and no. They do count as verified sales, even if it's at $0. So it counts as a verified sale in order for people to give you a review, but it's not going to count towards sales to help you hit bestseller status, because it has to be not free. It needs to be that 99 cents or more. Yeah. Okay. Does the badge, Jenabeth says, does the badge stay forever or just for the day? Yeah, it's just for that. It could be an hour. So let's take it right now. It's 10 minutes before 9 p.m. Eastern. At the top of the hour, let's just say that's when Amazon refreshes. It's going to look back at the previous 24-hour period. So 9 p.m. the day before to 9 p.m. today. And it's going to say in this 24-hour period, it just evaluates who's number one in all of each different category. And those that are number one get the bestseller badge. Then in the next hour, it does it again. Are you still number one? Have you still sold the most in those categories? The previous, from 10 p.m. to 10 p.m. the previous 24 hours. If the answer is yes, then your badge will stay until you're no longer the top on one or more categories, and then your bestseller will go away. Okay. So this is an amazing tool, Publisher Rocket, just under $200 if I remember correctly, one-time purchase, and that is highly recommended. So that's how I decided which categories to choose, and that's why I selected these categories. Okay. The keywords, I don't think I finalized everything, but I put together a decent first stab at my keywords. I'll do a little bit more on those before I launch. Now this is where you select your pre-order. Let me just move to the left a little here. It says pre-order. Instead of saying I'm ready to release my book now, you're going to say make my Kindle available for pre-order. Now, the date that you choose here, and the date that I'm choosing here, is the date that I want my book to go live. I'm going to tell people the week prior to this, hey, go pre-order my book on that Tuesday and Wednesday. They're going to pre-order it then. And then on the 5th here, it's going to go live, meaning that the ebook will get delivered to everybody, and then they will be able to go and do review for the book. So this is not the date you want it to start pre-order, it's the release date. So just to make sure you understand that. Okay, now one of the things, let me see, okay, sorry, I'm going to go to the next page. In the next page, the save, so you've got 3 tabs when you're setting up an ebook on KDP. That's the first tab we just went through. Let me go to the next one. So this one, this is one of the important pieces of information. If you want your book to be able to launch at 99 cents, say no, I'll update the file later. You don't want to put your interior file or upload your interior file yet. You do want to upload your cover, which I'm putting there because that will show. And then I'm putting my ISBN and my publisher name. So that's all you need to set up on your second tab. On the third tab here, I do recommend enrolling the book in KDP Select, and I do utilize the 90-day period, all of the 5 free days that Amazon gives me. And I recommend taking advantage of this extra love and attention that Amazon gives you through KDP Select. And then after the 90 days, if you want to go wide, then you can go ahead and expand and go wide and turn off or disenroll from the KDP Select. Okay. So now this here, 35% is what you'll choose as a royalty. If most people will see a choice between 35% and 70%, and they'll choose 70%, right? Because who wouldn't want more money as a royalty? But when you do that, the minimum it'll allow you to set your book at would be $2.99. When I choose 35%, it allows me to go down to 99 cents. Now, when the ebook officially launches and I upload everything, I will update the price and put it at $4.99, $9.99, and I will move it to 70% so that I have the extra royalty. But this is a great way to launch an ebook for 99 cents, and to most of the time, I can't imagine anybody who wants to be there to participate in your launch team not willing to spend 99 cents. If they're not willing to spend 99 cents to help you launch your book, and usually I give some extra goodies, like I'm giving $5 off of my print book pricing. So as a part of my launch team, that special launch team pricing on my regular book as well. So that's going to help them. Melissa says, is that a good price to start with, $4.99 for an ebook? I would say that would probably be a good price as a minimum. I've started using $9.99 because I see that when I go from a $9.99 price down to a free ebook for promotional purposes, it triggers some extra love from Amazon, and it shows a huge discount, so that BookBub or other places that I'm doing the promotion with, I think that it triggers, and it could just be me thinking it does, but I have seen things like emails from Amazon saying, hey, these books are free, and extra stuff for promotions that really makes a difference. I will price my ebook once it launches at $9.99. And it's also a part of KDP Select. So anybody with Kindle Unlimited can get it, and I'll put it on special once a month. So people will be able to get the book for free, but it will also show as a drastic decrease in price and really worth grabbing. Okay, the 99 cent, some people will go in and they'll modify the others so that it's 99 cents everywhere. I just let it roll down and decide, like, maybe I want to do 99 cents in Canada too. or maybe in Australia, I also want it to be 99 cents. I don't know. You can go in and change things in the other markets if you want it to match. It's perfectly fine. 99. There. We can keep it all similar. I guess that's a good, that way when I'm sharing on my socials that I've got a 99-cent ebook, then it will apply to more than just the US. GBP. Huh. I'm not sure about that, but we might as well keep it similar. There. So now it's all matching. So now if I just click here, let me go back out. If I click submit for pre-order, then it's going to go to Amazon. They're going to go through a review process, and usually within 24 hours to 48 or 72 hours, it's approved, and then my ebook is live. My pre-order is live. So I don't want to do that until I'm actually ready for my team to act on it, but I will do it probably a few days before I'm asking them to go and pre-order. The reason why I'll do that is because I'm going to want my A+ content to activate. So as soon as you get your pre-order out there, I can add A+ content. Excuse me. Okay. Any questions? I'm going to invite you to take yourself off mute if you've got any questions so far.
There are three or four questions there at the end, April.
Okay. Can you only become a bestseller within the first 30 days of launch, or can you do it, say, a year later? You can absolutely be a bestseller at any time. The reason why I'm focusing on it during launch is because when you engage with a launch team, you are able to direct them to go and purchase within a certain period of time, and that will help drive you to that bestseller status. But by all means, the goal is to continue once you've launched, and once I launch my print book, I'm going to activate. So here's the process, and I'll talk about this a little bit further, but my launch team is going to pre-order. It's going to get me that bestseller badge. The launch team is going to be delivered the ebook when it goes live, and I'm going to say, please go review the book. When they add their reviews, I'm going to start seeing my ebooks review numbers go up. Because my ebook is also synced to my paperback and my hardcover, those books, when somebody goes to the paperback or hardcover, they will be seeing the number of reviews that I have. So it'll have reviews prior to ever launching print books. So it might have, let's just say I get 50 reviews during launch week because I've got 100 people and half of them go through and give me reviews. So my print book, my paperback and my hardcover will have 50 reviews prior to ever launching. That will help when people see the print book launch. That will help get a little bit more social proof and make them feel more comfortable with purchasing. I will also then send Amazon ads, invest in Amazon ads to add much more visibility to my books. And the goal for Amazon ads or anything else I'm doing from a marketing perspective is more and more sales. So as long as you continue to keep the sales going, then you can still hold on to that as seller. And if you missed out on it during launch and you're able to do a relaunch kind of thing with your book, or just use Amazon ads to help drive those sales, you can. And especially you're going to need to know, how many sales do you need? Maybe you should look at some different categories. Find a category that you can compete in that is still applicable to your book. Know exactly how many you need, then have an intentional marketing plan that is sole purpose is to drive those sales and more so that you can hang on bestseller tag for your book. So Pat says, will I release the hardcovers and paperback on the same release date as the ebook? No, I will wait for those reviews to come in. For this particular book that I'm launching, it'll be the week after that I'll be launching it. So people will have 1 week to put their reviews before my print book launches. Typically, I would prefer to have 2 weeks at least, so that, because sometimes it takes time for the reviews to show up. So I've expedited this time through because we're getting too close to the Thanksgiving holiday as I start launching the print book, and I wanted to stay away from that. Okay. When you change things, do you have to republish, or does it do that automatically? Mary Jo, you do have to click to republish if you change anything, whether it be your description or whether it be your pricing, anything that you change. If you upload, when you upload your file, and by the way, we'll talk about some of the common mistakes that can be made, but let me go back to share my screen here, and I'll go to the presentation here. Okay, so we went through all of this. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And now a sample launch schedule. So this is, oops, sorry, go backwards. This is my launch schedule. No, prep for book launch. That's not what I meant to do. Here it is. Okay, so the launch schedule, I started in October trying to build some anticipation for my book launch. By the 14th to the 24th, I was inviting my launch team, so a couple of weeks to ask people to sign up for my launch. And then 10/25, which is this Friday, I'm finalizing my launch team and starting to move forward. On 10/29, my book will be I'll be asking people to pre-order the book. That's my launch team. And if people see it on my social media or in my email, I might get some additional people pre-ordering the book, which would be wonderful. Then when the ebook launches on the 5th, so you can see here, usually a couple of weeks to build your launch team. But of course, ahead of that, you want to let people know that your book is coming. Pre-order the book. You can see it's on a Tuesday. These dates are Tuesday dates. So I always stay away from Monday. I launch on Tuesdays. Tuesday, the pre-order. Then the Tuesday that it goes live, I'll be asking people to go and leave their reviews during that week. And then 2 weeks later, the print book will launch. I may, and I probably will, do it the following Tuesday because I don't want to get too close to Thanksgiving. And then I'll just say, just because you've launched, you don't want to stop. You want to keep it going. You want to make sure that you're still driving sales. I usually will start running Amazon ads. As soon as I have at least 10 reviews, I'll start running Amazon ads and getting more visibility. And as people are looking at the ads and they're seeing bestseller as well as visibility of my book, that will start to drive sales as well. The other thing is, don't forget to monitor your progress because, as I mentioned, every hour things are going. You might be a bestseller 1 hour and not the next hour. So monitor, keep promoting, take screenshots of your bestseller, and thank the launch team. And don't stop. Just keep going. So here's my keys to success with your book launch. Using a launch team. That's going to really help you drive the sales you need. Upload your ebook in time, because if you don't, so let me just back up for a second. When I launch without my interior, it's going to show me on my Amazon KDP page, I have until this date and this time to upload the interior of my book. And if I don't upload it in time and resubmit it, all of the pre-orders that have been received will be canceled, and all of my people that have pre-ordered will get an email saying that their pre-order has been canceled. So you don't want that to happen. You want to definitely get in there and upload your ebook interior ahead of time, just so that you don't end up waiting until the last minute. Next thing is follow-up. A lot of people tell me that they don't feel comfortable following up. Like, oh, I only have 10 people on my launch team. And I say, are you following up people? And they're like, oh, I feel like I'm being a pain. I sent out an email and only 10 people signed up. But how many emails do we get every day? I would say, don't be afraid to ping your family, friends, post multiple times, send multiple emails, because sometimes I'm guilty all the time with this. I might see something once, twice, 3 times, and I want to support that launch. I totally forget to go sign up to. So if somebody pings me with a Facebook Messenger post or texts me and says, hey, did you sign up for the launch yet? I'll be like, oh crap, no, I didn't. Let me go in and do it now. So don't be afraid to follow up. You're not being a pest. Sometimes you have to be a pest or learn to be okay with it in order to get the results that you need. I also think that it's really important to have an offer inside of your book that's going to drive people to your website, to a free offer or something where you can get their email sign up. Like I said, I do video books. I might do a copy of a different ebook, teacher materials, or I usually give away a coloring and activity book for that particular book that they're reading. And it's only a PDF version. If they really love the PDF, they can always go order a print copy of it. So have something substantial. I've seen some people do, oh, grab this one coloring page, go and sign up for my mailing list. And I'm like, my email address is too valuable. If you're not offering something that I really need or want, I'm not going to go give you my email address. So do something that your target audience really cares about. And then have a marketing plan that leads you past launch, right? If that means you're going to do school visits, you're going to do some podcasts, you're going to blog, you're going to email people, you do have to have a strategy and a marketing plan that is more than just what I've showed you here today. That's an important part of, you don't want to just be a big spike in sales and then drop off altogether. You want to be able to continue to drive things and build on your platform, build on your sales numbers, and build your author brand so that people start seeing and understanding that this is all part of what you're doing as an author. And that's it. Let's see. Use clean direct links. So this is one tip that I will also share here on this page. When you are sending out links to people to go and grab your ebook or your print book, make sure the link says amazon.com/dp/ and then your ASIN. That is a nice, direct, clean link. So just replace the brackets and your ASIN here. Replace this whole thing with your actual ASIN. And that brings them directly to your listing. So when you're sending emails or you're saying link in bio, make sure you're not using some dirty link that is not going to go directly to your page, or is going to have a bunch of extra stuff at the end of it that really isn't needed, that will also maybe even confuse Amazon, thinking that it's all, because all of those cookies are your cookies. You might have copied and pasted into an email, and then people start going there using your cookies, and Amazon, oh, wait a minute, this isn't right. Something's messed up here. So you want a nice clean link. And then when it's time to ask for a review, you can get a direct link to your review by using this formula here, amazon.com/reviews/create-review with a question mark, and then ASIN equals and your ASIN. Take this part, the front and back bracket included, get rid of all that, and put your actual ASIN there. If you share that link with your launch team or on your socials, people will go directly to your page where they can enter your stars and your actual review. It's very nice. It takes all the guesswork out of how to find where to leave a review. Okay. And if you want to, I use, that should say bit.ly, bit.ly.com, bitly.com, I use to redirect links. So I come up with a shorter version of the links and then redirect them once I get the appropriate links. Okay. All right, you take some time and sign up for my launch team, which is coming here. I will be using this opportunity to allow you to learn as an author, follow along, and I'm going to share my templates, all my emails, my social media posts, and I'll even host a Q&A session after launch for any author that has questions and would like to be a part of that session. I hope that if you haven't already, that you will consider signing up for my launch team and helping me get to that #1 bestseller status and launch this book well. It'll be my granddaughter Kyrie's first book, so it's going to be amazing. She's 8 years old and she's really excited about this. So if you go to bit.ly, let me just put the link here one more time. Launch. You can sign up there. Now let me go take a look at some of these questions we have. Yes, it is a question mark after the word review. Signed up for your launch over the weekend. Thank you so much, Karen. Melissa had to drop. Serene says, what if you miss it? What if you miss what? The bestseller link, that bestseller?
The window of time you have to upload the interior after you set up the pre-order.
Yeah, so if you miss it, then everybody gets an email saying that their pre-orders are canceled and your ebook gets canceled. So you have to recreate it. This time I would upload the interior and I would just let your launch team know that there was a mistake or there was an issue and ask them to go in and to order your book. So it can be, you're having to explain. We had this happen with one of my authors. She had 160 something pre-orders. And because of a glitch on the Amazon side, let me explain what happened. We set everything up and then she and I were talking about keywords and things like that. So she was in her KDP account and she goes, oh, I think I'm going to add this one extra keyword. She updated it and then clicked publish. And she said, oh, April, did I do something wrong? I clicked publish. Is that going to cause a problem? And I was like, no, we've got 4 or 5 days before we have to upload and make sure everything's launched. So it's fine. Just let it go. Normally, Amazon comes back within 24 hours and you're approved. Hers sat there the whole time. So we were unable to get in. It wasn't approving. It was just stuck. We called the help desk. We did like all kinds of, and the lady got on the phone with us and she goes, oh, you already uploaded the interior. I can see it here. Well, she was wrong. And so we were like, oh, good. It's already in there because I couldn't remember if we had uploaded it or not. And we couldn't get in to update anything. It wasn't true. She couldn't see anything, nor could we. So when everything got canceled, we had to reissue the whole thing. I sent an email out to my subscribers. She sent an email out to hers and said, I'm so sorry if you got a cancellation. Please go back in and order it now. And we got, I think, the majority of people reordered, but it was certainly not something that I would want anybody to have happen to them. Go ahead, Pat. I see your hand.
At what point would you raise the 99-cent ebook to $4.99? At what point? After the release date? After a week later? How? When?
I will probably leave when I get ready to publish my print book. I'll spike up the price of the ebook. But sometimes you can use it as a way of telling your launch team it's going to be 99 cents on this day and this day, and then it's going to go up. Buy it now, and asking them to use this specific time period to get the book. So that's one approach. I'll probably just leave it. And if people don't get it when they're supposed to, at least they'll be able to go in and get it later.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I think I missed the interior upload step. Should interior be uploaded on release date? Chris, it actually, once you submit for pre-order, it will tell you there when you get back in, because everything's approved, it says you only have a certain number of days to get, I think it's 3 days before your book goes live, that you must have the interior file uploaded and then click submit. Now, it might require you to put your ebook up in cost at that time. If your interior file is too large, it won't allow you to keep it at 99 cents, but that's okay, because the people that already pre-ordered, they grabbed it already. So if you have to put your book up to $1.99 or $2.99 because the interior file is larger than maybe mine will be, then it's okay. But you may be able to get away with a 99-cent book launch if the size of the file isn't too large. Okay.
Thank you, April.
You're welcome. Does your business do this for people? Yes, actually, I do have. I have coaching and done for you services through Self-Publishing Made Simple, and I have a team of people that works together. Some of them are probably on with us today, but yeah, they've learned my approach and they're able to coach and do it for others. And we are actually doing that now. So we'd be happy to help you if you feel like you need the coaching through it to learn, or you just want somebody to do it for you, then yes, we can absolutely do that. All right. Did I miss anybody's questions? Go ahead, Kathleen.
What happens if you miss the bestseller banner? Then you don't really know you got one, but what if there was one, but you didn't see it?
Yeah, I usually try to monitor things for my authors. It's helpful if like other people that are in different time zones, if you just ask them, hey, can you keep an eye on things? But unfortunately, Amazon doesn't automatically tell you when you hit bestseller. They don't give you an email. You have no notification whatsoever, unfortunately. So there's not much you can do about it, unfortunately.
Karen has a question about linking the hardcover in Ingram during this time. What's the time on the schedule in relation to what the others are?
Karen, I see your hand is up. Is that what you were going to ask?
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask that. And also, I did sign up for your launch team over the weekend, but I didn't get any other information. I expected a follow-up email, but maybe that's not coming yet.
It's coming soon.
Okay. No pressure. I just wanted to make sure that I was there. Okay.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it. I figured I would have a lot of people that come to this event or follow up with me signing up here. So I'll send some additional information for you guys. And yes, so when we think about what I'm going to be doing with the print book launch, first of all, as I mentioned to you, I'm uploading things and clicking prior to having my files other than my front cover. So as soon as, and it's supposed to be any day now, Praise sends me the information, the interior files for my book, I will be uploading them to Ingram as well as Amazon KDP for the paperback. And the part of using Ingram Spark is because I will have a print on demand hardcover. And as part of that process, I have to submit the files and then they have to go back and forth with Ingram Spark. Hopefully it won't take too long to get the approval back from them. And then once it's ready for enabling, because I will date my release in advance, when it goes on to Amazon, it will link up and it will show up as a pre-order. So it'll show if my ebook and my hardcover and paperback link up the way that they should, then it will show that it is not yet ready for sale, but people can pre-order it. So that's another great reason for me to keep driving people to the ebook. And I will also do, once my ebook launches and it's print book week where I'm launching my print books, I'll do a free ebook day so that I can get a whole bunch of eyes on the ebook and get some more reviews, but mostly just for visibility purposes. Because I know the Fussy Librarian has 600,000 people on their mailing list. They're going to get a much farther reach than I will. I'll also use other ebook promo sites and I'll stack them so that I drive a lot of people to this free ebook and might see it and go, oh, this is adorable. I love it. I'm going to grab the paperback while I'm here, or I'll grab the hardcover, pre-order it. So that will help drive additional interest, visibility, and sales for the print books as well.
So I guess what you're saying with syncing in the Ingram hardcover is you're basically going to enable distribution to get that Ingram over there as soon as possible, even while your ebook is still in pre-order mode?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And it won't matter if it's there earlier or later.
It's going to be okay. Now, normally I tell people normally I would give myself more time between the ebook and the print launch, but because this is a Christmas book and because the time is really crunched here, I'm going to not do what I normally do and say, let me get a copy, a physical copy of the book, make sure everything looks perfect before I enable it. Because, and I am doing a little bit of a risk assessment here because I have a designer that I trust and has done so many books with me that I know the files are going to be good. It's very little risk that there could be something wrong with them. And I'm also doing a preview with my editor who's going to do some proofreading prior to it to catch any type of little spaces or misspellings or anything like that. So I'll do all of that due diligence up front, and I will take a risk that if there is something found later, I'll have to re-upload some files, and maybe a few people will get a misspelling or something. But I think the risk is minor. So
yeah, I think you'll be good. I just was wondering, are you going to do a paperback with Ingram as well then?
I always do. I always recommend paperback and hardcover with Ingram because even though Amazon has a paperback and that paperback I will drive ads to, when Ingram Spark pushes my book out to Barnes and Noble and Target and Walmart and Books A Million and all those other places, I want it to show that there is a paperback and a hardcover available. Paperback I will make more money on. If somebody purchases a paperback, I get more revenue than I would if they purchase the hardcover. So there's really no downside in making the paperback available in both places.
Yeah, but just the syncing of the Amazon paperback and the Ingram paperback, is that a problem or?
No, not at all. Because what happens is the Amazon one will take precedence. As soon as I publish the Amazon one, it'll push the other one behind. And so when somebody clicks paperback, they'll be looking at the Amazon one. Until I publish the paperback, it will show the pre-order of the Ingram pre-order of the paperback. So I'll be able to get the pre-orders, and then once the paperback is live, which I'll push publish 3 days before I want it to go live, and then it'll go on live and take over that paperback slot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
There's a lot of moving pieces. So
yeah.
I wanted to share. This is probably the first time I've gone through all of this in this level of detail, and I've got a best-selling book launch checklist with all of the different things that I'll be able to share with you guys that are going to be helping me with my launch. So you'll get lots of additional information, even the emails that I send to my launch team and to my email list. I'll share all of those templates and stuff as well. Danya, go ahead. I see your hand is up.
You hearing me?
I can hear you now. Go
All
ahead.
right, great, awesome. All right, question. I had a question in the chat, but I guess you missed it. So I'm just verifying that the pre-order date is the date that we are working with to get the bestseller. Is that or the release date? Is the pre-order date?
What I do, that's a great question. Let me just make sure that it's fully understood. I'm going to pull up my calendar. Hold on. Let me pull it up so that I can better illustrate this. Come on now.
I also had another question, April, in the meantime.
Go ahead.
How do you, when you upload a paperback, does it automatically link to the ebook, or is there a step that we should take in order to get them linked?
Usually, I'll say 70% of the time they link just fine, but 30% of the time it doesn't link, and then we just have to open up a ticket with Amazon to get them to sync the files. And they won't do that. They won't allow you to submit a ticket and get them to act upon anything until your book's been launched for a week. And if it has and it's still not synced up, then they will act on it, and you just have to open a help desk ticket.
How would we know if it's linked, if it's your first time though?
You'll see when you go on to your Amazon, if you click on the ebook, you'll see that the paperback and the hardcover show right there. If you don't see the paperback and the hardcover, then you won't be able to. It'll be like, oh, my ebook is over here, my hardcover is separate from it. It's not linking all together.
Okay, and one last question. How long is the pre-book order? What is the time frame that we can have a pre-book order? 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, I don't believe that there is any such limit that would prevent you from having it for 6 months if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can schedule. So what I'm doing here is my book, I'm finalizing my team by Friday. And what I'm doing is I'm asking my launch team to pre-order the book on the 29th or 30th. One of those 2 days, go pre-order the ebook for 99 cents. And that helps to drive people on a specific day. And for those people that forget or they dawdle to the Thursday or Friday, I think that's going to be okay. It'll just keep me going. So I'm going to ask them now, but my book itself, the ebook, is live on November 5th. So the 5th is Tuesday after. So it's 1 week. It's going to be on pre-order for only 1 week. Now some people extend their pre-order longer, and they have lots of different campaigns around a pre-order so that they can drive more sales prior to the book release. But again, I would say what I'm doing is more the minimum. You want to be able to have your launch of your pre-order a week before it actually goes live, or 2 weeks before it goes live. And then once it's live, you want a week or 2 for people to put their reviews in so that they show up correctly before your book officially launches, your print books launch. And some people will launch both the paperback and the hardcover together. Sometimes they separate them and they'll launch the paperback first and then the hardcover, or vice versa. There's good reasons to do it one way or another. I usually just launch the print books all together because I like to give people options to be able to purchase the whichever version that they prefer.
Thanks, April. And another thing, I'm gonna join a launch team, but if I don't have a Kindle, how would I get the ebook version? Is there a method that you tell people and stuff
So
like that?
you don't have to have a Kindle, and this is important when you're helping your launch team understand this. You can the Kindle app can be loaded on any computer. It can be loaded on any phone, on any tablet. And if you don't want to download the app, there's a Kindle Cloud reader that when their ebook gets delivered to them, they can either send it to one of their computers or they can just read it in the cloud. So you don't really need the app. at all, a Kindle in order to participate.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for attending. I hope this was really helpful for you.